In this video, we are going to divide a unit fraction by a whole number, but we're going to specifically be looking at word problems. So here's the first one. A string of length 1/3 meter is cut into 2 equal pieces. What is the length of each piece? I'm going to start by drawing a rectangle, and I'm going to copy and paste. All right, so now I have, let's start with this first rectangle. And we're going to cut it into thirds because the string's length is 1/3. So this entire rectangle is showing the whole, which would be 3 meters. But let's divide it into 3 equal parts because of the fraction denominator telling me there's 3 equal parts. I'm going to shade in 1/3. Okay, so there is 1/3, this part here. That's 1/3 of this string. Now, we're going to cut this 1/3 into 2 equal pieces. So I'm going to use this hole, this rectangle, I'm going to divide it just like the top one. I have 3 equal parts, but since this is the area that we're going to cut into 2 equal pieces, I'm going to take this area here and I'm going to cut it into 2 equal pieces, but I'm going to use a different color. And I'm going to continue. I'm going to cut this third into halves and this third into halves. And now I'm going to shade in half of the 1/3. So that's half of the 1/3. What is this fraction? What is the length of this one piece? I have one shaded piece, and I'm going to count how many equal parts there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there is my denominator. Okay, so there's the visual. So let's just look at it with the algorithm, and it says 1/3 meter is cut into 2 equal parts. So the 2 equals pieces is also can be interpreted as half. So I'm going to say we're going to take half of 1/3. I don't know why it doesn't want to write 1/3. Okay, so half of 1/3. This also is the same thing as, so this is also the same thing as 1/3 times a half. Multiplying numerators, 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 2 is 6. So the length of each piece is a 1/6 meter. And let me go back and add that. 1/3 meter times half. Mrs. Jones divided 1/4 kilogram of grapes equally among 6 children. How many kilograms of grapes did each child receive? I've drawn a bar model here, and I'm going to divide it into 1/4. Let's make that happen. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to shade in a 1/4. So this is this is 1/4 kilogram. of grapes that Mrs. Jones divided. And I'm going to copy this and paste. And let me start by dividing it into fourths again. And remember, this is how much she had. So this is what she's dividing up among 6 children. So that means I have to divide this into 6 equal parts. See if I can do that. First, I'll start off with 3 equal parts, and then I'll divide these again. And let me shade in how much she's giving to one child, because the question asked, how many did each child receive? So this is how much each child received. Well, how much is that? Based on how many times we divided each fourth. Well, I'm going to go in and I'm going to divide each of these fourths. Sorry, that was a mistake. Didn't divide that correctly. Each of these fourths into 6. And one more to go. Hopefully, as I use a different color, you're able to see that these are divided. How this one was in fourths. The red portion shows fourths, and then the purple section shows 6. So if I counted up how many equal parts there are here, I know there would be 24 because I have 6 sections and there's 4 of each, so 6 times 4 is 24, and that's the denominator. Now the numerator is how many each child gets, and that's 1. So each child gets 1/24 kilogram. That doesn't look very good. Whoops. Kilogram. Doesn't want to write anymore. Maybe if I write it up here, kilogram. Having trouble with that, G. Okay, so if we just look at the numbers now, let's go back and let's plug these numbers into an algorithm. So we had 1/4 kilogram. And we're dividing it by 6 children. And we're basically asking, what is 1/6 of a 1/4 kilogram? And that can be interpreted as 1/4 times 1/6, which equals 1/24 kilogram. Cosina poured 1/3 liters of juice equally among 3 children. How many liters of juice did each child receive? Pause the video and try and work this one out on your own. So we have 1/3 liters of juice, and we're dividing it equally between 3 children. So this is our expression, 1/3 liter divided by 3. And if we're dividing by 3, that's the same as thirds. So 1 So we can also look at it as 1/3. What is 1/3 of 1/3 liters? And this 1/3 are the 3 children that you're going to divide the juice among. And here's the 1/3 liter. We can also rewrite this as 1/3 liter times 1/3. And we multiply numerators. 1 liter times 1 is 1. 3 liter, 1/3, 3 times 3 is 9. So 1/3 liter. And this is how much each child will get. So each child gets 1/9 of a liter. A ribbon of length 1/5 meter is cut into 4 equal parts. What is the length of each piece? So let's start with an expression. 1/5 meter is cut into equal parts, 4 equal parts. So we're going to divide 1/5 meter of the ribbon into 4 equal parts. Now that's the same as saying, and when you say 4 equal parts, it is 1/4, a unit fraction of 1/4 of 1/5 meter. And we're going to rewrite this as 1/5 meter of, and remember of, it means the same as multiplication. So I changed it to multiplying. So 1/5 meter times 1/4. Multiplying across, 1 meter, 1 times 1 is 1, and 5 times 4 is 20, and this is 1/20th of a meter. Each length is going to be. Thanks for watching.